Third time's the charm. All praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to our elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all our brothers pushing this work in sincerity and truth. It's brother to mine from James, Toronto, coming at you with another video. So this video I've been trying to make twice today. Every time I try to make this video, I keep getting interrupted. So let's see if the third time's a charm. Anyways, so what I'm gonna review is the show called Sex Life. Right? So this is pretty much, let me read the summary and what the whole show's about. So it says here, suburban wife and mother takes a fantasy charged stripped down memory lane that sets her present on a collision course with her wild child past. Okay, so AKA, so you have this girl right here, Sarah Shahi, and she's married to this guy, Mike Vogel. And then this is the guy that she dated in the middle right here. I think they're dating in real life too. This guy, Adam Demos, right? And then this girl right here, the Israelite right here, is Margaret Odette. She's her best friend. So she's the one that she was running around New York City, Manhattan, humping the whole world around, okay? On the carousel, so to speak. And, you know, her and this guy, because, you know, when you treat girls like shit, they always come back. Right? That's just the theme in their life. It's just a chase and the chaos that they really like. They don't like the order, because this guy right here, Mike Vogel, his character brings order. He's a so-called, he's a good provider. Right? Good job. I think he's in the medical industry, whatever. You know, and he goes out there, gets it done, but you know, she's at home with 2 children and she's bored. Right? The woman, you know, she gets triggered by these 2 main, I wouldn't call them virtues, but you know, the 2 things that drive her is jealousy and boredom. And this, you know, this housewife here is bored. So this is what Netflix is pretty much pushing to these women out here. You know, like, you know. And another thing is this. It's because, you know, this whole world is upside down, because, you know, your wife, when she comes to you, is supposed to be a virgin, right? But through Esau, Edom, and his backward ways, you know, women sleep with a man first, and then, you know, then they expect you to marry them after, which is totally opposite of what every culture used to be like, except for Esau, Edom, because when you go back in Genesis, the 4th chapter, if you go and talk, that's the reason why Jake got corrupted in let me get it and I'll come back to the point. Sons of God. Okay. Genesis 6. It says here, then the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit will not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh, yet his days have been 120. So the Lord chopped down the years, right, by a lot. There were giants in the earth, Genesis 6, in those days. And also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, Salakia, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. Right? So this is a so-called interracial relationship, which always goes back to, you know, the law that Moses gave our forefathers, so not to sleep with other nations' women and marry them, right? Because they'll corrupt your sons. So this is what happened, right? Esau, Edom, you know, he was always known. His women are always known to be, you know, a little bit out there. That's the reason why the sons of God, when they saw them, you know, their ways enticed them, right? This is how you get men to go off course. Beautiful women from other nations, you marry them, you're gonna start doing the things that that they're doing. You're gonna start picking up their customs, right? Fast forward back to sex life. What Esau Edom is pushing is adultery, right? He's pushing adultery on a whole nother level. Now, they're pushing the alphabets on the children, and now they're pushing, well, they've been doing this, right? Adultery on women. So you can always marry the one that will provide for you, but then there's someone in the past, or someone that you see, a side dude, right? This is a glorified side dude who's gonna, because in the end of the show, in the end of season 1, the dude lets her go and be with the guy, so she has a side dude while he stays with her, right? So this show is very corrupt. Not to younger women, because especially these older women who are married and are bored, because they actually want to do what this woman is doing. They always have someone in the back in their past, or that's why they always have girls' night, so they can go out and meet dudes and sleep around with them, right? This show is gonna have a major effect on women, right? Because they're promoting it a lot, and these red pill guys, so the lack of judgment, the lack of void, they're calling this hypergamy. This is not hypergamy, this is adultery. So this is what the definition of adultery is biblically. Let me get the definition first. This says a violation of the marriage bed, crime, or civil injury which introduces or may introduce into a family a spurious offspring. In a scriptural sense, so let's drop down to 2. In the scriptural sense, all manner of lewdness, that's not, or unchastity, which is going into the woman, as in the 7th commandment. Scripture, idolatry, which is true. The Israelites, towards the Most High. Okay, so let's get it right now. So it says here, conjugal infidelity. An adulterer was a man who had illicit intercourse with a married or betrothed woman. So such as a woman was an adulteress. So that's what adultery really is, right? It's intercourse between that's where they're going off right here. Intercourse between a married woman, right, and a man. Doesn't matter if the man is married. He's allowed to have other, to sleep with other women. But when the woman is married, you cannot touch her. That's adultery, right? So let's get he who commit adultery like an understanding. Proverbs. Well, let's just get the definition. Then I'll get back to that one. The man, so like this is Leviticus 20:10, and the man that committed adultery with another man's wife, even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, which is what that Edomite was doing with the other one, because he knew she was married, but he just couldn't let it go, and she knew she'd married, and she just couldn't let him go. So, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. Right? And says, and the man that lied with his father's wife had uncovered his father's nakedness, both of them shall surely be put to death, and their blood shall be upon them. So, that's the law of an adulterer, right? Death. Proverbs. It's like my fingers are too big, man. Understanding. Proverbs 6:32 Says here, but whoso committed adultery with another man, with a woman, lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyed his own soul. Right. So that's what that dude was doing because he lacked understanding. And at the end of the day, it's just lust, right? And lust leaded to sin, sin leaded to death, right? But that's what they're doing with this Netflix series, as you can see, right? If you watch it, it's because I saw this, this girl had me watching it, which is, and I finished it, and I'm like, wow, this is, you can see what they're doing now, and all of these girls, especially the ones that are married, they're gonna remember they're always thinking about these guys, or because they should be just sleeping with one person. They should only have one husband, but when they come to you, by the time they get to you, it's 18 and 19 body counts, 20 something body counts, right? So all of that sperm, because the sperm stays in the woman for at least 7 years, and guess what? I think both of them haven't seen each other for 7 years, right? How long does sperm stay inside or live inside a woman? They say 5 days here, but I think it's 7 years, because I think it goes into her brain. Okay, let me see. Microchimerism sperm. Let's see. Known as microchimerism, the presence of male cells in the body of the female is not new and is usually caused by cells from a male fetus from prior pregnancy, because she was pregnant too, right? And he made her take an abortion, right? She let him in the dude's house while he wasn't there. She took the dude to dinner to prove to the husband that she was over the guy, and she wasn't. But all in all, the husband was being what as well, right? The idea of two genetic distinct population of cells of their DNA residing in one individual isn't new. So let's see here. It says here, the problem with X's. It's a long held belief among animal breeders that purebred progeny are best produced by females who have never mated before. I was talking about animals. Let's see. Oh, same shit. Let's go right back there. So it will distribute that may finally have some evidence to give that notion some scientific support. Work files, and pick mentor. Okay, let me see what it says here. Determined by the first meal. The cool thing that non-genetic effects was seen, not necessarily tied into fertilization. Disturbing legacy. Okay, sorry. I'm just going through this. Just want to get right to the point. But you can read the article. Okay, let me get this one in, because that one takes a little bit more going through. It says here, is it true women retain the DNA of every man they've ever slept with in their bodies? So let's see. You've spent virtually any time on the interwebs, and particularly lurked on the social media areas of the marvel of human ingenuity. You'll no doubt at one point or another come across the fact that many women have living male cells hanging out in their bodies. See, this is the reason why she was going crazy, because that dude's cell and his imprint is all over her, right? Including in their brains. The most common explanation, according to social media, for how these instances of microchimerism came to be in that women acquire these cells via making the best the beast was Sakya with two backs with a man. The claim that often follows that is that given these cells and their replicates have been shown to sometimes hang around for decades for in the woman. See, so the sperm can actually stay in the woman for years, decades. They say that most women have the DNA of every male sexual partners they've ever had in their bodies, because sex is it's not just a physical thing, it's a spiritual thing as well. So that the sperm is life, the sperm is spirit, right? So when once that sperm enters that woman's body, it stays in there, right? It joins onto her cells and it becomes part of her. But is any of this actually true? It is true, because you can see how crazy these women are when they come to you, right? They have other men's cells on them or in them, right? As with the vast majority of quick facts spread around on social media, there are elements of truth to it. But the part that makes the fact spread does not appear to be true at all, based on the current state of scientific research, because they're pushing it. Microchimerism is a true thing. So let's drop down to this. To begin with, back in 2012, a study titled "Male Chimerism" noted that that after dissecting a number of deceased women brains, 63% of the brain, 37 out of 59 had male chimerism present, while it was touted by many a media source that this was a huge discovery. In fact, it has been long known that a large percentage of women actually carry living male cells in their bodies. For example, in the study 1969 published in the Lancat showed that 70%, 21 to 30 pregnant women, 19 of whom were pregnant with boys, and 2 others have previously had boys, were found to have male microchimerism. So the other man's seed somewhat ends up in that dude. That's why all this generation, you can read the rest of it, but this show is really, they're promoting this to women, and it's not good for the men or these guys. The guys that Kevin Samuels are telling to get married, because they come to you all beat up, man, and busted down. It might the what might be tight and wet, but if she's not a virgin when she comes to you, there's a great deal that she can always leave you, man, because not because she wants to, but that sperm, that spirit of another man is in her, and this is what this woman was going through for the whole show, is that that other man's sperm or spirit was on her and she couldn't get over it. 7 years, 2 children, a big ass house in the suburbs, and she still couldn't get over that dude that treated her like crap. And if you're in a relationship, you'll see, man, like, you just can't be too nice. Right? You have to always match the person's energy. So all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. That's my take on sex life. And if you can always I'm probably going to make a part 2 to it, but that was my take on it. So all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.